Hi all, let's go ahead and start on graphing versus substitution with solving systems of equations. This here is for the part B of the worksheet. So if you're on part A, you're on the wrong video, but part B, stick with me. I am going to talk about those two notes that I said were really important before we get started today. With graphing, whenever you're graphing, always start with both equations in slope-intercept form. That is what we've practiced in class. Not that it's the only way, but it's what we've practiced. When you have both equations in slope-intercept form, find the slope, which is your m value, find the y-intercept, which is your b value, then you'd be ready to graph. When doing substitution, pick the equation that looks the easiest to isolate a variable, okay? I always look for one that has a 1 in front of it, then I'd follow by a -1. If not, then I can just choose from there which one looks easier to me. Then once you have that easier equation, you're going to take a variable, or you're going to isolate for a variable. You're either going to have x equals or y equals. Once you have it isolated, then you can go ahead and go on to the second step where you're going to substitute it into the second equation. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and work on this worksheet. In class, we did 1, so I left the steps here for substitution as to what we did in class. Now, if you notice on number 1, though, it was already solved for y. So they already gave me what y equals. They did that first step for me. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and work on number 4 for graphing, and then number 5 for substitution. All right, number 4 for graphing. On this one here, first thing, get both equations into slope-intercept form. When I look at this one, x minus 3y equals -15. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I have -3y equals negative, if you want, you can put a 1 in front of that. Okay. We cannot combine 1x and -15 because they are not like terms. One has an x, one does not. Now we are going to go and divide every term. When you're multiplying, you're dividing. It's every term by -3. So we have y equals negative divided by a negative is a positive 1 over 3x plus 5. On this one here, our slope is 1 over 3, which means it's going to go up 1 over 3. And our y-intercept is 0, 5. That's where we'll be starting. So starting at 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3. Okay? Or we can go down 1, left 3. Down 1, left 3. Now, if you have a ruler, great. If not, try to get that as straight as you can because precision matters when we're graphing. Okay? All right, so there's our first one. Now we have to look at that second equation. And the second equation is one of our special graphs. Whether we use undefined or zero slope is what we have to determine. Because there's not even a y here to get by itself to isolate into slope-intercept form. So we have to do x equals -3. So I'm going to go look where x is -3. That would be right here. And from there, we are going to draw a vertical line because this graph is a vertical graph that crosses where the x is at -3. That one there has one solution. The x value of that solution is -3. The y value of that solution is +4. So your answer on this one And it is one solution because they only meet at one spot. Okay. I said I was going to do number 5. I'm going to go ahead and actually go to, I think I'm going to go to number 3 on this one. So let's go there. Looking at these two equations with substitution, I need to pick which one looks easier to me. Then I need to isolate one of the variables. So the one that looks easier to me, is x plus y equals 9. Okay. So I'm going to take that equation and I'm going to try to get x by itself. So that means I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. So I get x equals, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said 9 there. Let me erase that and let me start over. I'm not even sure why I said 9. I'm trying to get x by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract y from each side. So then I've got x, these cancel out, equals negative y plus 9. Okay. It doesn't matter which variable I get by itself. It can be x or it can be y. Right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what x equals and I'm going to substitute it into the equation I didn't use yet. So that would be the first equation. So I'm going to remove the x in the first equation and I'm going to replace it with negative y plus 9. Okay. So we have 2 times whatever the value of x is minus 3y equals negative 12. There's the whole equation. Now I'm going to take that negative y plus 9 and put it in there. Now if I look at my equation, I can see there's only y variables. So that's what I'm going to be looking to solve for. Okay. So 2 times negative y is negative 2y. 2 times 9 is positive 18. Minus 3y equals negative 12. On the left side of the equal sign, I look to see if there's anything I can combine. So I can do negative 2y and negative 3y. That gives me negative 5y plus 18 equals negative 12. All right, still trying to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. And I have negative 5y, these cancel out, equals negative 30. Divide both sides by negative 5. That reduces out, and we have y equals positive 6. Okay. Once I find what that variable equals, whether it was x or whether it was y, either way it would come out not the same value, but your overall solution will come out the same. Okay. Now I'm going to take that y plus 6 and I'm going to plug it into one of the original equations. Whichever of the original equations looks easier. Well, to me, b looks easier, or x plus y equals 9. That's what I'm referring to as b. So I have x plus y equals 9. But instead of y, I am going to substitute in positive 6. So I have x plus something equals 9, and that something is 6. So x plus 6 equals 9. Subtract both sides by 6. And we get x equals 3. So in this case, it is, again, one solution because we have an x value, we have a y value. And our answer is 3, 6. All right, if you have any questions, go ahead and send them to me. Otherwise, have an awesome night.